Fully live. Hello, everybody. Good morning, my time. Good evening, Philip's time. um, yeah. So, for those of you who don't know us, I'm Carrie Loranger. I'm the founder of the 9 to Thrive newsletter that helps people build sustainable businesses and multiple income streams, so they never have to depend on one paycheck or one client again. And Philip, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super happy to say that I can finally cross you off my bucket list. I have like this giant bucket list of people that I want to do live streams with on Substack, and I'm super happy we're doing this today for the first time. I also see we already have so many people joining. Thanks everyone who's here with us today. My name is Philip Hofmacher. I run the Right Build Scale publication together with my wife Sinem and my co-founder Yari. And yeah, I'm super excited that we're doing this today.
Yes, yes. So I wanted to start off. You just launched Smarter Substack, which
Mhm.
is your new kind of, I would call it a roundup
Mhm.
digest, daily digest, in fact, with some of the top, articles that are coming out to help people build on
Mhm.
Substack. Why don't you talk about that for a moment?
Absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity. Quick background for everyone. I joined Substack in July 2024 together with my two co-founders, and we built our White Build Scale publication to 1,300 paying subscribers. And we've been speaking a lot about growing on Substack, but also building a digital online business. And the thing that you quickly learn when you're on Substack is that you're not the only one who knows how to grow on Substack, that there are so many other amazing people that really have a lot of expertise about Substack. You are obviously one of them, but there's also Ayana, there's and Derek, there's and Claudia, and so many other amazing people. And while we all talk about similar topics, each and every one of us has their own point of view and we have our own experiences. So we thought we need to create something that highlights the best content that gets created every single day. Because if someone's on Substack and they want to build their business in a niche that is not related to Substack growth, so no matter if it's marketing, if it's a legal business, if it's investing or anything else, they don't have the time to read all of our contents. So we thought like, what can we do? And the solution for us was to create Smarter Substack, which we love to call it is an atomic Substack. So basically like a curated newsletter on Substack that helps the people find the best pieces of advice on how to build a business on Substack. So for example, every weekday they get 3 different links that will help them either grow their audience, write better, turn more free subscriber into paid subscribers, or learn about the newest features that Substack is releasing. So that's like the core idea. Instead of us creating more content, we just want to collaborate and build something where we feature the best things that are already created by someone else.
Yeah, so you got that plus your Right Build Scale newsletter. I was
Mhm.
curious. I was going to ask you about
Mhm.
how do you manage this with the 3 of you? Is
Mhm.
anybody working full time or anything like that outside of this? And what's your division of labor like?
Absolutely amazing question. Love it. So Sinem, Yari, and myself, we all three are at the point in our life where we've always known that we are. I would love to call it unemployable. So all three of us have always known we cannot work for someone else. We need to build our own things, and that's what we are doing. And thankfully, to Substack, to our email list, and to the entire business that we've built on top of that, we are able to do that for in my case, almost 10 years by now. So, yeah,
Mm.
we are doing this full time, but not Substack only, but like Substack is, we love to call it the top of the funnel. So we get a lot of eyeballs on our Substack work. A lot of people become paid subscribers, but where we make the real income is by the offers that we have in the backend. No matter if it's courses, if it's a community, or if it's high priced one-on-one coaching, we use Substack to get in front of people, same as we do with YouTube and our email list, our freebies. And from there, we, build an entire business around it. As for the division of labor, I always love to say that Sinem and Yari are the typewriters, while I'm the calculator. For a simple reason, the two of them are amazing writers. They are really good at writing. They always have been writing on Medium in the past. So they both know how to write articles that people love to read. I, on the other hand, I completely suck at writing. So if you let me write something for 200 to 300 words, I'm probably need to kill myself if I'm not allowed to use any kind of AI tools also. But what I really love to do is think about strategically how to build a business, do the things in the background, plan out our launches, our products, build the funnels. And I love to do coaching calls. So you see, I love to speak, but I don't love to write. That's why we say we have 2 typewriters and 1 calculator in our business.
That's good. I like that analogy a lot. That makes total sense. So speaking of starting a Substack,
Hmm?
what do you see that most people get wrong or misunderstand when they first start out on Substack? Is there any commonality there that you see?
Or there's a lot of things happening on Substack, and a lot of things are moving into the right direction, but oftentimes people are understanding things completely wrong. So I just want to randomly point out a couple of things. First thing that's really important to me is I so oftentimes read you can only make money on Substack if you write about Substack. And I can tell you this is just not true. Take a
Not
look
true.
at the most successful Substack. Take a look at the Substack that make the most money, that have the most subscribers. They are all in the fields of politics, finance, online marketing, or maybe AI. So if I would
Yeah.
have a huge expertise about AI, I would not create a Substack on teaching people how to grow their Substack or how to build a digital business. But that's where I'm coming from. That's my passion. I love to work with entrepreneurs. So that's why we are doing that. Another thing that people oftentimes get wrong on Substack is that, and that's like a super old discussion, but I still want to point it out here. Do you need to have a niche? Oftentimes people go viral by telling you, yes, you don't need to have a niche. You can write for everything, whatever you want. Yes, you can do that. But then I would call it a hobby. If you see it as a business, you need to be known for something specific. So if Substack is your hobby, that's totally fine. But then treat it like a hobby and don't expect your hobby to pay you. On the other hand, if you want to turn your Substack into a business that replaces part of your income or you probably becomes a full-time job one day, then you need to be more strategic about it. And then I would start with a niche, focus my content on this niche, on on one person, on one problem, on one transformation, and make sure to add some personality to it. The personality aspect is important because it allows you to talk about other things. But oftentimes people get this wrong. They think they put their personality first, they write about everything and don't want to niche down. And that's just not working. So I would
Yeah.
really advise people focus on one thing and sprinkle in some other aspects of your life. For example, my co-founder Yara is doing this really well. He's sharing pictures of his dog, talking about how's Bonko doing, and Bonko became the official mascot of our publication just because he talked about that very often.
Yeah. Yeah, we're lockstep on that. I see so many people who want to just pour in 10 things into their
Mhm.
publication, and it's not going to work if you want to monetize and grow.
Mhm.
It because who was I just did Derek Hughes was talking to
Mhm.
him. He said, it's like you're reading a book. You buy a book on finance and you're reading the chapters, about finance, and then all of a sudden one pops up about your morning yoga routine.
Yeah.
That's what happens. It feels like, "Whoa, what just happened here?" When you people subscribe because they want information about one thing.
Yeah.
They don't want all of a sudden random thoughts. It's not going to be a moneymaker. So, yeah, we see that a lot.
Uh,
Um,
Derek is an awesome person. So I love talking to him. He's really cool, and I absolutely respect the transformation that he went through. I've been knowing him from the Medium days when he was writing there, and I really love what he built here on Substack. So Derek is a really cool guy.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, so you have a strong notes game, and so do I, and I think um, I think we're both using WriteStack for that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, so in terms of notes, I think a lot of subscribers start out or a lot of sorry, Substackers start out on notes, and it's confusing because we have, I call it two sides of the coin. You have your publication on one side, and that's where your newsletter lives and all your articles, and then you have on the other side your personal profile on your notes.
Mhm.
So, what do you recommend for somebody starting out on notes?
Love it. So I always talk about the 10-5-1 rule regarding notes. That's
Right.
a simple routine that I came up with for myself and that somehow our student loved so much that they're also starting using it. So the idea behind it is super simple. Every time you publish one note, you need to like 10 other people's notes, leave 5 meaningful comments, and send a DM to one person. Why is this important? Not because I want you to cold call or cold message any people, but because I want you to understand that in order to get seen, you need to plant little flags that point back to your profile. And every time you like something, every time you leave a meaningful comment on someone else's profile, you have a high chance that they come to your profile, check out your profile, and interact with your own note, subscribe to you. And that's really important because I strongly believe if you are not famous already, or if you don't have a huge audience on any other platform, then just going on Substack and posting 3 notes a day or scheduling them with a tool like WriteStack alone will not be enough. You need to show up so that people really care about you. If you are a Cristiano Ronaldo or a Serena Gomez or whatever, it will be easy for you to come to Substack. You will get your likes instantly. Unless you're already famous, you need to put in some extra work. I think that's the most important part. And I
Yeah.
just created this rule for myself because I am someone who loves to have systems, love to have routines in place. If I know I post something and then I need to do those things, that's super fine for me. Then I can move on. That was the first thing. And the second thing that I would also advise everyone is set yourself a high number, let's say 100 notes, 300 notes whatsoever, and commit to publishing this amount of notes and engaging with people before really caring of the results that you're getting from it. Because if you start posting and you take a look at, oh, how many likes did I get yesterday after the first day, you will be disappointed because, it takes some time for you to build your brand on a platform. So take that time and don't manipulate yourself by just paying too much attention to the stats right from day one.
Yeah, I went into this committed to responding to everybody,
Mm,
and that was doable when I was, sub 3,000
mm,
subscribers, but now I'm up to, like, 7,500, and it's hard. I cannot keep up with all of the messages
mm,
and replies and everything. Do you guys keep up with that? I mean, you have 3, so it
mm.
might be a little easier for you, but, um
Um, yeah, I mean, my completely honest answer is since I use the activity center in WhiteStack, it got easier to keep up to
yeah.
date with everything. Before that, I have to say, for sure not um, yeah, the person that
Um,
makes sure to respond to every single comment that I'm receiving. So I leave some potentially on the table. But what I really take seriously is my DMs. So if you send me a DM, no matter who it is, and
yeah.
if it's a meaningful message, I respond to it. I always invite the people on the live stream to check their DMs, see if they've messaged me and if I haven't responded. And I bet you if I haven't responded, it was probably because you sent me a message like, hey, this is an awesome article about the newest election in California. You really need to read this, Philip. And I'm like, hey, I live in Austria. Why should I read that? So if I get messages like those, I ignore it. If I get meaningful messages, I always try to respond to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. What's one small tweak that you've helped somebody that you taught make that got surprisingly big results?
That's a good one. Let me quickly think about that. One thing that worked really well for a lot of people is the hero post. So if you come to someone's publication, we always want you to have a pinned posting that's like the hero post that really explains to someone what's going on this publication or why should I pay attention to you. Let me quickly explain why that's important. Let's say you publish a new article see this article, I read it, and then I think like, yeah, okay, it sounds interesting. Let's check out who that person is. I can either go to your profile or I can go to your publication. Most of the times I go to someone's publication, and when I end on this publication, I want to instantly know what's happening inside this room. I want to enter this room and I want to see, hey, this is cool branded. Hey, this is going on. Hey, this person has authority. If you do that, you have a high chance of winning me or anyone else as a free and later on as a paid subscriber. If you're not doing this, you might leave a lot of potential behind. So that's the first thing if you're a beginner. And if you're more advanced, so let's say if you have 10, 50, 100, 1000 paying subscribers, I would really invite you to start shifting your mind. Because in the beginning, it's all about, hey, I want to get more free subscribers. Once people have a lot of free subscribers, it's all about, hey, I want to get more paid subscribers. Then they have 20 paid subscriber, 50 paid subscriber, and they only think more, more, and more. But once you have paid subscribers, I would invite you to start shifting your mindset and start focusing on retention. It's so much easier to keep a subscriber than to win a new subscriber, and especially on Substack. So really think about what can I do to keep people in my paid membership for as long as possible.
Yeah, that's a good point. I actually rearranged my whole business model this year.
Mhm.
I've started doing a little more for my paid. I'm having a monthly roundtable where we go
Cool.
live and help each other, so they get more access to expertise and, of each other and myself. They can ask questions. That works really well. People love that. I also moved my course into my founding member tier
Mhm.
because it's just better there. So that's helped me get a lot more founding members. And then I also opened up a lot of content on my page. I just one day looked at my page. I'm like, everything's for paid people here. I've got to change that. And it really helped with SEO. I'm getting so many now subscribers just who find me on Google, which is amazing. So, that's been really helpful. Yeah. So those are few little growth tips.
Uh, that makes a lot of sense. I love that you moved your paid plan into the subscription. We also thought of doing that, but we decided to keep our premium programs outside of the paid publication. But once again, this circles back to what I said earlier when we talked about smarter Substack. Multiple experts, multiple points of views. No one of us knows everything best. So that's the cool thing on Substack. And I really, really love this
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah, I still have programs. I still
Mhm.
do I'm gonna be changing up my workshops and master classes. I've got a new one coming. It's on writing the perfect publication description. And I workshop this with my paid community in a private chat. And I see it all the time. A lot of people have difficulty coming up with that perfect description that's going to make people want to hit the subscribe button.
Mhm.
It sounds simple, like, oh, here's my description, right? Here's what it is. But what most people are missing is the transformation piece. They're
Mhm.
not letting people know that subscribing will change their life in some way. Everybody's missing that because a description is like, well, it can be a laundry list, right? So this publication is about this, this, and this, and maybe give a little bit of the why it's
Uh-huh.
important, but they're missing the whole formula. So
Yeah.
that's coming up. I'm calling it the subscriber magnet workshop.
That's a cool name. I love it.
Yeah, so that's coming
Uh,
up March 10th.
uh,
I'll drop the link if anyone
uh.
wants to register.
And I
But
think you're touching on a super amazing point here because the last thing that I want when I subscribe to a publication, when I upgrade to paid, is I want to have more content. So a lot of times people say, when I ask them in our coaching sessions, what are you offering for the paid plan? They're saying like, yeah, I'm offering some of my articles only for paid members. And I think like, but do they want that? Do we really want content? To be honest, no one likes content. Everyone
more
loves to have their problems solved.
Yes, yes. Nowadays, especially, they want it kind of handed to them on a silver platter, like, how do I fix this fast, right? If they have a problem. So Um, yeah, I had one of my, oh man, it was so amazing how we changed her whole, her whole description. It was something about style for, get style for women or something like that, fashion
Mm,
for women. It was very general. And I come to find out, she grew up, she had no style. She's now an expert trained stylist. And it was just amazing. Like, those are credentials that you have to have. That's
mhm,
the proof, the receipts that you need to have in that description, um, to make people really respect and trust you. So, yeah, that's very interesting.
mm.
So, if someone's listening on today's live or on the recorded version feels like their growth has stalled out, what would be the first thing you'd have them do?
Now that Orwell's here, I need to say they need to jump onto RightStack, obviously. No, I love RightStack. I don't know how Orwell is doing this. We said three times RightStack before, and now he's here with us in the chat. So hi,
I
Orwell.
see him. Hi, RL.
Um, no, what you really need to do, and RightStack is a part of that, you need to have systems in place that make it as simple as possible for you to grow your Substack. Because I'm super busy. I'm pretty sure, Carrie, you are super busy, and all of our listeners are busy. And in order to make Substack or get Substack to a point where you can grow it, you need to be smart about it. One thing that I would do instantly is respond to every single comment that you're getting. Do this through RightStack. Schedule your notes. You also know how to do that. And then I would really focus on understanding my audience. Understanding your audience, the lazy way is just reading comments and trying to understand what they really want to get from you. The more professional way is start conversations with them. So try to message them, try to post some things in your publication chat, some hand raisers, for example, like, hey, we're thinking of creating a new article about how to save yourself 2 hours a week on Substack. What are the things where you feel like you're wasting yourself a lot of time? Just let us know. Then you get some responses, you use those, you turn those into articles. So building a digital business or building a best-selling Substack is no rocket science. It's only doing what the audience is already telling you what they need. And if you do
Yeah.
that, I'm pretty sure you will accelerate your growth. At least it worked for us.
Yeah, that's what I use too. I asked them, right? I asked them in my chat, what are you struggling with? The key to this is to give them options, right? If you're thinking about writing on something, give them 3 or 4 or 5 options. What are you struggling with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can respond quickly with just a number,
Mm,
and that will tell you some good information. Also, polls and surveys inside of posts. Those are really good ways to find out what's causing your audience grief right now. So, I encourage people to use those tools.
mhm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I see
Um,
we have a question in the chat from Robin. Can we quickly address that? Is that fine for you?
yeah, absolutely.
Robin says, can you explain or give examples of how to retain and keep subscribers? I think this refers back to
Mhm.
when we've been talking about making the shift from growth to retention. Do you want to address that?
Sure, I can. Yeah. How to retain or keep subscribers. I mean, give them enough benefits behind the paywall that, you know, remind them of their benefits. Like, I have a whole creator tool vault. I surface that occasionally in my emails to my paid subscribers, telling them, "Hey, look, I just added something new to the tool vault. Log in, go in and see this new thing." So that's one way. Go ahead and give your tips.
Yeah. I love it, and I totally agree with you. One thing that's working really well for us is turning it into a community. And I always love to explain this like a garden party.
Mm,
Let's say you're new in town and you want to throw a garden party and you want to get as many people as possible to hang out and spend the evening with you. If you just put out a flyer saying, this is a garden party or join the community that's happening in my garden, no one will join. So you need to be smart about how to get the people into the door. And one way to do that is to get a super amazing DJ to play. And then you go through the city, you
yeah,
blend out your flyers saying, hey, this DJ is playing in my garden, come and join. People will come for the DJ, they will have a great time, and after the DJ is gone, they will stops playing, they will start talking to other people, and a lot of people will hang around and stick with you. That's exactly our philosophy for building a community. We have amazing things that we give people to come inside the community or come inside the paid subscription, and inside there they find an amazing community where they want to stick along with. Sure, this doesn't work for everyone, but we oftentimes see that it's really true that you say people come for the content, but they stay for the community.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I've got the round table that serves that function, the monthly calls. So, it's something that people value, and you do have all those different types of folks in your community. Some people hate communities, some people love
Yeah.
communities. So I think you have to give them options as well as how to consume your expertise. So I have the self-serve tool vault, I have the community, where we're live together, and then, of course, the programs. So yeah, and
Mm.
then the course. So yeah, I agree. That's a great way.
Yeah. I see we already cracked 150 subscribers. Thanks so much, everyone who's here with us today. If you're not subscribed to Carrie and you're coming from my side, make sure to click at the top left of your phone, the subscribe button, subscribe to Carrie, and make sure to check out her content. It's really worth reading. You will also find it regularly inside Smarter Substack.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, let's see. I have one or two more questions if we have time. I know we're going on 30 minutes now. Do you see? I was wondering, pricing. This is
Mm,
something a lot of people in my community struggle with
mm,
pricing. Um, how to price your newsletter, when to price your newsletter. What advice do you have for somebody who's struggling with this?
yeah. Love it. First of all, don't price based on what others are doing, priced based on the value that you are providing. This quickly helps people understand that it does not really matter if their pricing plan is, or their monthly paid subscription is $4 or $5. If someone is willing to pay $4 for your paid tier, they are also very likely to pay $5 for your tier. Me personally, we run a strategy where we know that Substack is kind of a lead magnet and as a hand raiser to figure out the people that are most interested in what we are doing on Substack. So for us, it's important to have people with us as long as possible. So therefore, if you take a look at our publication, the annual plan is super cheap compared to the monthly plan. So we are optimizing to get the people inside our community as long as possible. So what does this mean? It's not like you buy 12 months and then you get 2 months for free. But in our publication, it's oftentimes that have a discount or like a birthday promotion or whatsoever, that the annual promotion is probably priced at around 3 to 4 times the monthly subscription because I just want to have people stick with me as long as possible. And that's the first thing. The second thing is really think about your founding member tier. How can you use your founding member tier to make the other subscription look really, really interesting to you. So we have a founding member tier where we offer a couple of calls, and I think we're charging shortly below $1,000 for that. But this is not something we are marketing. We only have that in place so that the annual subscription looks more affordable to people because we know those people that want to purchase one-on-one coaching with us, we don't want them to purchase through Substack. We just have our other ways of reaching out to those people.
Yeah, yeah, the same. It is a funnel. I mean, I was so thrilled to find Substack because you can build out your whole business there like you've
Mm,
done. And of course, I'm about a year and a half behind you, so
mm,
I'm still
mhm.
building it. Um, but yeah, we have some more questions. Did we want to address any of those?
Awesome. Just pick one. I'm happy to address them all.
Does it hurt reach if I post 5 notes a day instead of 2 to 3? Is that too much? Oh, good question. I personally find the sweet spot at 10 notes per day. I have tested this over practically 6 months now.
Mm,
Um, I started posting 10 notes a day about a month ago, and um, my subscriber count just took off. Before that, I was around 6,000, and now I'm at 7,500 in a month. So I had a
Mhm.
tremendous growth during that time. Now it's slowing down, so I've got to go in and figure out why. But um, that's me personally. That's
Mhm.
not you. So
Mhm.
everybody needs to find their own spot where it makes sense to
Yeah.
them. Um,
I
I
I
want
personally feel comfortable posting 3 notes a day through Stack, so I have 3 notes scheduled every single day, and then sometimes I post some spontaneous things if I see something, if I just, yeah, want to get
yeah,
something out of the system. So I usually post 3 to 5 times a day. That's the maximum that I'm doing. Sometimes, for example, when there was Super Bowl, I think I posted like 5 notes in 2 hours just because I wanted to get certain things out of my mind that were really close to my heart. But most of the times I keep it a little lower. I talked with Jana yesterday about this. I think she also publishes 6 to 10 times a day. We even discussed having a test account to publish 100 times a day. I don't know what's the right thing to go. We also always need to be sure about this. What How do you really count the results? Because if you publish 10 times a day and none of those notes really get a lot of attention, and then you have like one note that went super viral, you need to ask yourself, would this have also happened if I've only published 3 times a day? So I invite people most of the times to publish 3 times a day just to keep it simple for them, because I know if someone's new to Substack and I let them know he needs to publish 5 or 8 times a day, it will be an overload for them and they will not be
yeah,
able to do that.
yeah, yeah. Of course, you baby step into this because it, but you want data, so you
Mm,
need some volume in order to get data, and that's why I tested. I did big experiments for a long
mm,
time, and that's what you want to do. I always say there's no right answer. There's only guidelines, and
exactly.
so test see what works for yourself and your audience.
Yeah.
Um, one, what is one more question here? What is the inference between a note versus article? Oh, I believe I need a tutorial. I'm
Mhm.
very new here. Okay. So, notes are short form content that are linked to your personal profile. Articles are posts that appear on your homepage.
Exactly.
And there's different, they're different. They have different purposes.
Mm,
They're different spots in the funnel. They can have different outcomes. Um, the articles, you give a lot more information in them, and you can email those to your subscribers. I believe you can also email threads to your subscribers. Um, but yeah,
mm.
that's it.
I love to also address this because this is a great question that a lot of beginners ask. And I'm pretty sure I finally figured out why people are confused between the difference between posts and notes. And it's the following: if you have Substack only on your phone, you don't see the word notes anywhere. You're posting things to your profile,
Yep.
but it doesn't tell you that it's a note. And then suddenly you read this advice and everyone talks about notes, 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 notes. And I had like a real life friend who signed up to Substack just because we're talking so much about it. And he said, like, what are those notes that you're posting about? And I'm like, yeah, these are these short status updates like tweets. And he like, yeah, but why you call it notes? It doesn't say notes anywhere. And it's like super cool because on the computer, if you click the create button right here, it says create a note. But on the iPhone, at least, at my version, it doesn't say note anywhere. So that's why it might be a little bit confusing for people. And as for the
Mm.
benefit, I think you said it correctly. Posts are like your pillar contents on your publication, and notes are like those tiny snippets that point back to yourself. I always love to say notes get your attention while posts build the trust.
Yeah, Substack surfaces notes to people that aren't aware of you. It's the discovery engine on Substack. So I can't emphasize enough how important it is that you're using notes. That's just a must if you want to
Mm,
grow and especially, monetize. So, um,
mm,
I love this next one. Do you have a system for looking at your analytics and figuring out what it means and what to do with that data? And that ties into the one above that. How do you test? So, um, I'll answer that and then I'll let you add your
mm.
color. if you don't mind,
Awesome.
because this is my very favorite part of the whole thing is
Mhm.
how I run my businesses, honestly. Um, so testing means putting different things out there, whether you think they'll work or not. Um, you might be surprised. Sometimes I put a note out there and I think, "Oh, this is a throwaway note. It's not gonna perform." But it performs really well. You don't know what your audience is going to react to until you put it out there. So start with some small notes, different types. If you're struggling to find your niche and you're good at 5 things, start posting about those 5 different things. Find out which one most people are attracted to, and that will help guide you on your path to finding your niche. Um, the analytics in Substack are getting better. Um, they're actually ridiculously great compared to other platforms. So I spend a lot of time analyzing my data. Quarterly, I do it. I download everything. I look at everything. I look at trends. I actually use the help of AI to analyze it, and it tells me where I can do better and what I should do next. So that's how I do it. How do you guys do it, Philip?
I love it. We also pay close attention to our analytics, but probably not as much in detail as you do. I love to see, okay, how we are performing. Is everything green light? Is anything yellow light? Or is there a red light? Is there something that we really need to change? And then we directly jump into what are the people telling us. So we take a close look at why do people unsubscribe? What do the people say that become paid subscribers and so on. So I understand the data driven approach, but I try to more focus on the human aspect. So
Yeah.
we keep this really limited because I told you before, like I'm the calculator and I could completely geek into this. I could spend 10 hours just looking at my numbers, but I learned from myself that my 10 hours are better spent a week to building one-on-one relationships with people.
Well, and I should say too that RightStack, another plug for
Mm,
RightStack, has amazing analytics. It'll show you what's been performing well. And, that is a guide. If you put out 10 notes a day and one gets a lot of activity, a lot of comments, a lot of restacks, that tells you something. That
mm,
tells you that that particular note resonated. So you have choices. You can either restack that note. Yes, you can restack your own notes. And in fact, you can go back a month later, unrestack it, and restack it again. So
mm.
that's one thing you can do. You could either repurpose the note as well, or just write a different note, but in a similar structure and try that. Substack is one big experiment that never ends. That's how I like to look at it. It just keeps
Mhm,
going. So,
mm.
any
I see.
comment? Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of questions. So,
Uh, I see one from Celia also regarding to restacks. She says, "Are restacks with a personal note very good for reaching other audiences?" Yes, absolutely. So we had one article that one person just quoted. This was an article where we talked about the lessons learned in our first year on Substack. And I don't know why, but one person restacked a specific part of the article. I know why he restacked that part probably, but I don't know why it went viral. So basically, like a restack from someone went super viral, and it brought us, I think, 48 paid subscribers, which is
wow.
absolutely amazing. I have no idea why this happened. I never had like a note go super viral with tens of thousands of subscribers, but this one somehow went super viral. I think it got like 200 comments, his restack, and then another 100 people restack the restack of our note. So if
Oh,
you
wow.
just think about this, this really spreads out. And this also brings me back to what you said before with the analytics. I love the Substack analytics, but I have to be honest, I don't think they are as accurate as we would love them to be. For me, it feels a little bit like Substack uses all the analytics and all the numbers that they are showing you to make the creator feel good and awesome. I can give you a couple of examples. Right now, here you see 176 people live on the live stream. On every other platform, this means that as of right now, 176 people are live. Here on Substack, that's the total number of people who joined the live stream. So no matter if you're on it for 5 seconds or for the
Yeah.
entire 40 minutes, that's one thing. Another thing is with the annual revenue that you're making through the platform. If you have one paid subscriber paying you $10 a month and no one else, it instantly shows you the numbers as if this person would stick around for an entire year. So it would
Yeah.
instantly show you $120. So this is a little bit tricky for me. I'm not the biggest fan of this, but it's for sure very motivating to see what could be possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, those are good examples. I spent a lot of time on more on the engage. I come from a marketing background. I had
Mhm.
18 years as in a 10 in a Fortune 500 company and another at a private company as a marketing expert. So this data, I've learned how to let it paint the story for me and
That's
react to
cool.
it. So yeah, I spend a lot more time on the engagement metrics. So, any other questions here before
That's
we
cool.
go?
I have a question for you. What can you give us some examples because I would love to also get better at this. Like when you take a look at your analytics, what's like one or two things that you learned where you thought like, wow, I was not aware of that.
Um, I look at so there's a way I do it. And sometimes it's a manual process or
Mhm.
a manual mapping process where I look at how many unsubscribes I get from something that I
Mhm.
email. That will tell me a lot because, for example, what did I just post? I just sent something out that got way more unsubscribes. It got like, I want to say 23 unsubscribes, and normally I get almost none.
Mhm.
Um, that tells me information, right? That particular post, that email I sent was unwanted by my subscriber audience for whatever reason. It didn't fit with what they expect from me and it
Mhm.
caused unsubscribes. So now I know not to do that again. So sometimes it can be, a lesson in what not to do
Mhm.
again. But I do also look at oh gosh, I look at everything. I mean, every bit of data you can get on that, like my traffic. Where's my traffic coming from? How many people are recommending me? How many people did I send subscribers to that I recommended? All of that growth information is something you can dig into, and it will tell you. It will tell the story.
Mhm.
So yeah, I look at all of it, every bit of it. But I'm
Cool.
I'm a data analytics nerd, what can I say?
Yeah, we all once again, everyone has their own approaches, and that's like cool. If someone's into data, they will very much relate with you, and that's exactly the cool thing about Substack. We all build our own publications, but we have so much to learn from each other.
You know what, Philip? I just noticed something.
Yeah,
This live now has a share screen function.
yeah, I know.
I didn't know that. How did I
I
miss that?
tested I think it's here. I've seen this yesterday the first time, and I think like an hour ago I did a live test to share my screen. I just went live for myself, and I had some subscribers be so kind to send me screenshots of how it looks. It's really cool. So we've been waiting for that, let's call it that way.
A long time.
Yeah.
That was one huge shortcoming that there's so like, I could have just now, had I been prepared, show you my analytics and how I do it,
Mm,
which would be
yeah,
so much a better experience for our listeners today.
yeah.
So, um, our video note our video notes being pushed out more now. Who knows?
Mhm.
Do you
I
know the
don't
answer to
think
that?
I don't think that Substack pushes them out more, but I see a lot of value in those things. Sinem has started recently creating some behind the scenes videos of one of our launches. And it's not like that these notes go viral and you get thousands of likes. But what those notes do is show a lot of personality. They allow people to connect with you on a different level because they suddenly see how a workday for Sinem looks like. And that's you can write an article about your work there and even add a picture to it or add a note with a picture.
Yeah.
That's cool, and people build personal connection. But video is really good for building this trust, really giving the people a behind the scenes. So I don't think that Substack is pushing it out more. But if you would reframe the question, should creators do more videos? I personally would say if your goal is to build trust, then yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
It's not
video
like
can
ins
be, sorry, one more thing. Video can be a note, it can be in an article, but it can also be a live stream like we are doing right now. You just
Mhm.
need to show your face and prove that you're human. That's what
Yeah.
works for building trust.
I found Substack to be so refreshing. I say it levels the playing field because the biggest influencer can come over from another platform with all their selfie videos and everything else. But,
Mhm.
you know, the audience determines what gets shown instead of
Mhm.
instead of some mysterious algorithm. So it's up to us as the audience to be reacting to those things. And a lot of times they just don't fly here on Substack. So you have to pretty much start, the video that worked great on another platform might not necessarily work as great on Substack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. I think we're out of questions. So, uh, I guess I've asked all my questions of you, Philip. So I think, that's probably the end of this live for today, unless you had anything else you'd like to share.
No, I'm super happy. I think we touched base on so many things. I really want to say thank you, not only to you, Carrie, but also to your audience for having me. It was awesome. I really loved talking to you. You officially checked off my I want to go live
Yeah.
with bucket list on Substack. And I would love to do this one more time with you. So if
Yeah.
you're ever in the mood to do something, maybe we try the live streaming because as far as I understand it, you can also do it when multiple people are live. So I have a couple of cool ideas on how to leverage this, and I'm for sure trying this out next week. I just
Yeah.
see we have one more question from Justy. I have one. How do you reach out to a niche audience? I'm in a small part of tech. How would you reach out to those people?
How would I reach out to them? I would go find them. First of all, find other people in your space, see who's following them. Then you can start following their audience. Read their bio first, though. Make sure they're like sounding like a good fit for you. Um, there are people out there on Substack doing that, and then keep your notes focused on different aspects of that particular niche. I wish I knew more about what it was. Small audience in tech. Okay, let's just pretend it's cybersecurity. I don't know if that's it, but that's what you would write about pretty much exclusively from all angles. What are the areas of cybersecurity? Um, Employees, that's a risk factor, right? Maybe pick out the risk factors, hackers. You just make your content all around that topic using your content pillars and start following people that you believe may be in that technology area. That's how you do it. They'll follow you back and likely subscribe if they see that your content is something that they're interested in.
Mhm.
Anything to
I'll
add there, Philip?
Now, if you have right stack access, you can search for certain keywords there,
Yes.
find people talking about those things, can sort by date. That's also working well for me when I want to find specific kind of people. But other than that, I totally agree with your point of view on that, Carrie.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for today. Thank you, everybody, for joining. It's been so great. You had great questions. And Philip, I really appreciate your perspective. I think you guys are great. And I love what you're doing. And yeah, thanks, everyone. We'll cut it off here. Have a
Thanks
great day,
everyone for
everybody.
joining. Have a great day. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Carrie.
Yeah.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. All right. Bye
Talk
bye.
soon.